What if the blood-soaked battlefields of medieval Europe weren't marked by conquest alone, but by a pact never recorded in any history book? What if the fiercest warriors of the North, the Vikings, the most secretive brotherhood in Christendom, the Knights Templar, weren't enemies, but allies? And what if this alliance shaped the fate of the world as we know it, then vanished into the shadows? They say truth is the first casualty of war, ... But what if this truth was buried not by time, but by design, hidden for centuries, forbidden by the church, erased from the annals of kings? This is the mystery they never wanted you to hear. Welcome to the secret alliance between Vikings and Knights. It begins in the late 11th century. The cold winds of Scandinavia howling through the fjords, the last of the Viking raiders, turning home after centuries of terrorizing. It's Christian Europe, but something has changed. The longships no longer seek plunder alone. They carry relics, sacred texts stolen from monasteries, and cathedrals far to the south, not to burn, not to ransom, but to study, to preserve, to protect. Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, a new order rises, sworn to God, but whispering secrets behind stone walls. Knights Templar, born in blood, forged in silence. Both these forces stand at opposite ends of history, or so we were told. But in 1132, a strange manuscript surfaces in a Benedictine monastery in southern France, describing a northern brotherhood aiding Templar ships through the Atlantic in return for sacred knowledge. The manuscript vanished. So did the monk who copied it. What did he find, and who silenced him? In 1889, a weathered oak chest was discovered beneath a collapsed chapel in Uppsala, Sweden. Inside were fragments of vellum inked in runes and Latin intertwined. It referenced a red cross upon the ice seas and a sacred mountain beneath the black sun. Cryptic language, but unmistakable in its implication. Templar-Viking collaboration. The Swedish National Archives sealed it within weeks, citing lack of historical relevance. One scholar, Ingrid Thorsen, dared to speak out. She claimed the runes told of a voyage west centuries before Columbus, where Norse warriors escorted knights to a hidden land to protect a relic, older than Christ, said to burn the soul of any man unworthy. Thorsen was discredited, stripped of tenure, and found dead a year later from accidental hypothermia in her locked apartment. So, what was the truth, and why was it silenced? To answer that, we turn to Iceland as a medieval chronicle, often dismissed as myth, but within it a passage speaks of ironclad pilgrims from the Holy Lands who wintered with Norse jarls and offered gold and blackstone scripture in return for safe passage through the western seas. Forgotten alliance, born not of faith, but of necessity. The Templars needed seafaring masters to reach places the church feared, and the Vikings craved knowledge to rival Rome. They struck a pact, and together they voyaged to lands far from European eyes. Some claim they reached Vinland, others whisper of subterranean vaults beneath Greenland, still sealed with iron crosses. But of course, the mainstream rejects all of it. Historians dismiss the runes as fakes, the manuscripts as forgeries, the connections as coincidence. They point to timelines, maps, royal records, none of which mention such an alliance. And why would they? The Templars were annihilated by the French crown in 1307. Their records burned, their wealth seized, but some say not all of it was lost. Some say a fleet vanished across the sea, never seen again. Where did it go? And who helped them escape? Even more damning is a Vatican document classified until 2007, a Chinon Parchment, which absolved the Templars of heresy, but was kept hidden for 700 years. What else lies within those secret archives? What documents were suppressed, redacted, rewritten to hide not just a conspiracy, but a partnership that threatened both crown and cross? Because if the Vikings and Templars did unite, it would mean a rewriting of Western history. It would mean the Americas were visited, not once, but twice long, for 1492, by men not seeking conquest, but sanctuary. So, what if it's all true? What if beneath the snow of Iceland, or the catacombs of Roslin Chapel, lies proof that two of the most feared warrior orders in history fought not against each other, but alongside in a battle to preserve something the church dared not acknowledge. A relic, a truth, a prophecy. One that foretold the fall of empires and the rise of a hidden order. From the north shall rise the flame, wrote an unknown monk in 1221, and the red cross shall guide the old gods home. Was it metaphor, warning? They lied about the wars. If they rewrote the Crusades, what else have they buried beneath polished marble and stained glass? The truth may be darker than we imagined, and more dangerous than we were ever allowed to believe. Because if history was rewritten once, could it happen again? Subscribe, because truth, no matter how buried, always finds its voice.